Howdy, howdy. In this video, I am going over what I read in the past week. I swear I've read more than this, but man, feels like a little bit of a thinner stack than I expected. Maybe it was because I read a lot of quality stuff. Starting with, I'm going to do a brief review on this because I'm going to go deep on that on this series in Friday's video. So if you want to see me review this, by all means, subscribe to the new American Texan Reads channel. That's where you're at right now. I had a channel that was both for cards and comics, but I decided to go ahead and just make this one comics because I want to spend more time talking about comics. And I know trading cards and comics are both collectibles, but I read comics and I collect trading cards. So I wanted to separate the two channels. But this book really surprised me. And I shouldn't say that. I should have known going in that I was going to, at least that it was going to be good quality, even if it wasn't for me. And let me tell you, I'm not an elf guy. Like, just because a book has an elf doesn't mean I'm automatically going to check it out. I do like a good fantasy story, and this series here, I'm just going to flip through it. Now, the rest of the books will do spoilers, but I'm just going to flip through this one. Gorgeous art. The elven characters here does play a little bit of a role in the race that they develop here. And this was just a joy to read. So on Fridays, I do Kickstarter and crowdfunding book reviews. I'm going to do that one this Friday. But let me tell you, this one's very close. I haven't decided yet, but it's very close to a 5 out of 5, which is tough to do. And the wrapping, the opening was amazing as well. And I'll probably replay that on Friday's video because that's on the old channel. But I really appreciate the quality and the experience that this book came in. It was an experience unboxing, more of an experience than Rippaverse even. And the books were a lot of fun to read too. So I'll review that, but that was a fantastic, fantastic book. These are in no particular order because I have just a few minutes today to review these videos to get it out on time. So I'd normally put them in order of didn't care for, enjoyed, and really enjoyed. This is just in reverse reading order. So this is like, for example, I read this today. Hornsby and Halo. This one was a little bit disjointing. I'm not sure what it is. This one had a very cold open with characters you don't know, and you don't really understand who they are or what purpose they serve in the story until towards the end. And by the way, for these Whatcha Reading videos, they are full spoilers. I try not to spoil too much if I don't have to. The art continues to be a lot of fun. It's just the story here was a little like, it felt like I might have missed a couple issues, even though I didn't. But yeah, it's still enjoyable, still on the bottom rung of the Ghost Machine, but like I say, a bad Ghost Machine book, if you can call this that, a bad Ghost Machine book is still one of the best books on the shelves. So really, really enjoyed that. I still enjoyed that one. I didn't really enjoyed it, but I still enjoyed it. But I really, really enjoyed Geiger, man. Geiger continues to be a pleasure to read. This is peak comic books. This is what comic books should be in 2025, if not forever, because we've got gorgeous, just gorgeous storytelling that you can't, I mean, I don't think any amount of prose in a novel can get this image here. You've got Zigzag running up. You've got Nate and the Dr. Molotov, I think that is, going in, and you've got the glowing man here. But that's not his body, right? So where did his body go? His body is elsewhere. So you get the juxtaposition cut to here. I mean, you can't get this in prose form. And movies, unfortunately, it's more of the people behind the movies in Hollywood now. They just don't capture scenes like this the correct way. So I am absolutely just enjoying this one. It is a beautiful read. I think this one was only a 4 out of 5, 4.5 out of 5. And I'll go over my grading scale someday. But yeah, this was a super enjoyable. Geiger, if Hornsby and Halo is at the bottom of the rung, Geiger is right there at the top when it comes to ongoings. I still think Junkyard Joe is the best, but that was a mini. Even though he is kind of continuing in Geiger as a character. Rite of Spring, issue 2. I wish they had, this is a what do you call it? Not a prologue, but a prequel. It is a prequel to issue 1. So issue 1 happens, and then issue 2 actually takes place before issue 1. Because the last page of issue 2 is actually kind of the first page of issue 1, or sets up the first page of issue 1. I wish I knew that going in. But this one, you know, this story, I'm not sure I would be totally into, but the art really draws you in and makes it engaging in an entirely new way. It's a lot of fun. And this is a story that I wouldn't read if it wasn't drawn this way, to be honest. And so it's a really enjoyable read. All right, going on to Immortal Batman, and I am moving a little bit faster than normal because again, I don't have too much time here. Immortal Batman, this one I'm gonna give it a shot. I appreciate what they're doing here. It's just not in my usual lane. What they call what do you call that? The Power Ranger. It has a name. I can't remember what it's called. Not Tenkatsu, Tenkatsu or something. Sentai. I don't know. But I do think it's a high quality book. I'm just not sure it's in my lane. So I'm going to go ahead and continue reading, but I'm not sure I'm going to stick with it. But still overall enjoyable. If that's your thing, go for it. I think you'll enjoy it. I'll give it another shot for issues 2, probably issue 3. But I'm just not sure. I think I would probably enjoy it better in trade rather than collecting the singles. All right, moving right along here, we got Justice League Unlimited number 10. This one, man, you know, the art is fantastic. It's getting a little bit much, I feel. We've got a lot coalescing here after the We Are Yesterday, and now there's stuff that seems to be coming over from Superman. I think it's all tying together. It is still a lot of fun, even though I'm barely hanging on, the whole talk with the Trinity. And again, you're going to hear me say it, Dan Mora's Wonder Woman is the best looking Wonder Woman. Just really, even when they're just sitting here talking, I think she just has a lot of, just a beautiful drawing here. And then you've got, I think this is my panel of the week. You know, he says, you know, Superman, Clark, you're too trusting. And Clark says, didn't you give Jason Todd a Robin costume? And Wonder Woman's just like, okay, all right, let's move on. Just a lot of thick drama there, laying it on heavy. And then we got some more timey-wimey stuff here with this. But just when you back up and look at this, I don't always, you know, sometimes I'm just reading, you know, panel. I don't ever like sit back and just like, what is going on here? This is so much fun. You've got some of the super friends, I guess, I'll call them, you know, saving people in a different country. I don't know, they're almost like, not the B team, but like the West Coast Justice League, but just a different sub-team, I guess. And Metamorpho's doing some wild stuff here. Just crazy stuff happening that, you know, I'm like barely hanging on, but man, it is something that I'm still enjoying here. I definitely enjoyed We Are Yesterday. I know I'm seem to be one of the few there. But yeah, we've got, you know, the folks are trying to save Darkseid Time Trapper, and he's making it difficult for them. And, you know, we got a little bit of a ticking clock here. Just a lot of fun that I didn't expect to have this much fun with Justice League Unlimited. And continuing on, like I said, like I think these things are kind of bleeding in together. We've got Superman. I think this is a great classic cover. I want more covers like this. There's like a scene dramatized here, text on the cover. I love that. Now this one, I didn't read any of the Infinite Crisis stuff. What I know, I just know from Comics Explained doing a video, shout out. So I don't know too much about Superboy Prime. He really comes off a little bit, and forgive me for the heresy here if anyone takes offense to this, but he comes off a little Gwenpool-y, not Gwenpool, yeah, Gwenpool-y, where he's like, he knows he's in a comic book, and I understand Superboy Prime, he's supposed to be, I think, from an Earth like ours, where he reads about the comic book characters, and he gets sucked into the comic book verse, and so he realizes that he's in a comic book, and he has the line, get Silver Age with me. I know that was a lot of people's panels picks for the week. This was really cool. I love pages like this where you're just kind of jumping through a narration, but also kind of like a time jump, not time jump, what's the word, time stream or montage? I don't know. But that was really good. And then we come here to the future that like, oh, this is not what I planned it to be. So I enjoyed that. But yeah, so, you know, I don't know too much about Superboy or the Legion of Tomorrow, I think is what they're called. Is that what they are? I mean, we got the Legion on Darkseid is what they are now. So I don't know too much about them. I definitely would love to read some more about them. If you have any recommendations on how to get into the Legion of Tomorrow. I guess they've got, is this absolute Brainiac? Thank you. Is this absolute Brainiac that they've kidnapped and they're kind of using? I'm not reading Absolute Superman. I could not get into it. Jason Aaron's uninformed, uneducated take on what capitalism is was just annoying to me. The League of Shareholders can go suck a hard one. Okay, that was just the dumbest thing I've ever read in comics. And I read Gwenpool. But we got absolute braining, and I did hear that it's getting better. But I think this is absolute Brainiac here that they're getting energy off of or something. Not exactly too sure, but I don't have too much of a connection with these guys. I love that Superman stance there. I think that's a great illustration there. And so yeah, so we got Superboy Prime back and doing some comic booky stuff. And the Legion of Darkseid apparently has him as a part of them, or he switched sides. Or I don't know exactly what's happening. Again, I'm just barely holding on, but a lot of fun there with that one too. Speaking of barely holding on, man, this one, Wonder Woman, I got the Derek Chu cover. I don't get a lot of B covers anymore from DC. I don't like paying the $1 for the extra print. This one was a little bit harder to get into, but we get more Hayden Sherman Wonder Woman eyes. I don't know what it is about Wonder Woman, but certain things that just appeal to me about her. And for me, the way Hayden Sherman illustrates her is her eyes. I love the innocent eyes from a 6'5" Amazonian woman that he does. I think he nails it. We got the colored eyes here when she's casting a spell. And so I love the focus on her eyes. He really brings out that she's still a young hero, so to speak. You know, she's still a little bit fresh out of hell. And she's still got that innocentness of it, which is ironic because she grew up in hell. I think that's something a lot of people overlook. I mean, we have actual innocent young Wonder Woman here doing a bargain to play both sides, make everyone happy. I think that's interesting here. Don't care too much for the drawing of this chick here. This other Amazon lady, I think she's a little too masculine. Kind of threw me out of it for a little bit, but yeah, they got this little civilization down here because they're trapped down here. Look at it again, those eyes. She's just a fierce, formidable warrior, but she still has those innocent eyes. Like she doesn't want blood on her hands if she can avoid it, but she understands it's almost like hunting. Like you understand you're taking a life, you understand you're hurting someone, you understand that it's the nature of violence, and you do all that you can to avoid it, but when you have to do it, you do it in a way that's honorary and respectful. So to me, that's what speaks to me about it. I feel like no one else has said that. But eyes definitely play a huge role in all this art from Hayden Sherman, and it's in a lot of issues, not just this one. We get a little bit of whoever that ghost is, it inhabits the staff, or it takes on the form of a staff. So pretty cool little weapon here for Absolute Wonder Woman, Absolute Staff. Not sure. Put away the sword, get a staff out, but really enjoyed that one. And man, I loved Absolute Martian Manhunter. This was my surprise of the week because I've been enjoying it, and I know a lot of people in the circles that I listen to don't like it, and I totally understand. But man, this one surprisingly has a lot of Christian values that you would not expect from Dennis Camp. And no, I'm not gonna call him Denise Camp or Denise Camp. What is Dennis? I'm gonna call you Dennis, okay? We get in this issue the importance of family, the importance of sticking together, the importance of the importance of acknowledging how bad it is when you have this Nietzsche-esque view of, oh, we're just all atoms and there's not much here, right? We're all just taking up space. It turns out everything's mostly just empty space. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Meaningless accumulations of nothing. And he's like, and that's, yeah, us too. I mean, we're all just meaningless accumulations of nothing. So like, that's a very it's a very, I don't know what other word to say other than, what's the theory from Nietzsche? Nothing matters. Everything's meaningless. We're just here, inhabitants of time and space right now. And it really shows that, like, she is protecting her son. And I think her son is autistic or speechless. I think that's why he plays with the toys, because he's trying to communicate what he's seeing or going through. Because he never speaks. I realized in this issue, he never speaks. But he means a lot to her. She means a lot to John. And the Martian is trying to save everyone. And, if you have a view of morality, then you obviously see what's wrong with everyone fighting each other in town. But if you don't, then, I mean, it is what it is. It's just evolution. It's survival of the fittest. So surprisingly, this is speaking to something of the moral character that we all have imbued within us, that it shouldn't be this way. It should not be the way the white Martian is manipulating everyone. So very surprising. And I love this metaphorical battle. That metaphor looked like it hurt, you know, and the brain tumor out of a kid, and then the brain tumor from the future of a kid that created the formula, and then I mean, I love that. I thought that was a blast. I thought that was a lot of fun. The art continues to just make everything stand out, and you know, really just speak on a different level. This book could not work nearly as well without this kind of art behind it. And this art behind it would not work well behind another different kind of story. You know, this art wouldn't really work with Absolute Wonder Woman or Robin and Batman. It works here, and it works so well. So this was a fantastic ending, I think, to the series / first arc, because they are expanding it. And then we get a little see-through here, which is, I'm glad they did this. A little something extra for the physical buyers. And yeah, so I don't know if this is White Martian inhabiting his son or what that's about. It also really scared me when the son ate the poison chocos. I thought he was going to die, but I don't know. Maybe it was just drugs instead of poison. I don't know. But anyways, an absolute joy to read. This one really surprised me how much I enjoyed it. And I'm glad we get a little bit of a breather. I would like to reread it all again, because there's just so many things in here that you would just miss if you didn't read it again. So I'm actually going to go through and read it a third time. And I'm looking forward to seeing that. And so yeah, I think that was actually I think that one got a 5 out of 5 for me. Just the writing and the art was awesome. And then Robin and Batman, Jason Todd. I didn't realize this was only going to be 3 issues, because I think this ends here. More good art, and we get Jason Todd having his internal drama here, internal conflict. And I like that, you know, Alfred's kind of like, hey, look, we decided to adopt this kid. We decided to take over. We can't give up on him. You know, he was a little like, you know, this kid's hopeless in issue 1, and now he's kind of coming around and saying, look, we made our bed, we got to lie in it. The art's really growing on me in this one. Robin is seeing, you know, what kind of path he's going down. I love this here, even though there's no words. It's just, there's a lot here on his face, in the perspective that they're choosing. I think that's great. And so I think he's seeing, you know, what's the ghost's name? I can't remember his name. This guy. He's seeing like how dark of a path, you know, he really is going down the same path as Batman, but you come across a fork in the road and you have to really decide. So here he is at that fork. This one, I think, closed out really well. There was a lot of emotion with Batman in it. And, you know, it really comes down to, you know, that last hug. And, you know, I saw the signal. I was calling you home. And, you know, it's Jason Todd being reminded that he's not going to be abandoned. It's almost like he's got to get over his fear of abandonment. And Bruce has to, you know, once again, some days you wake up as a parent and you're just like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to get up early with the kids. I'd rather be doing this other stuff. You know, I think Batman knows that, you know, kind of like when you're training a new employee, you could be doing something a lot better, a lot faster, but you got to train up the employee. But he chooses to call Robin home. And I don't know if this is on purpose. We jump from Robin in his suit to Robin in plain clothes. Batman is still Batman. So it's almost like he's a little kid again, almost like the first time they met. I thought that was really beautiful. And yeah, Robin has a little get together with the evil guy. I can't remember his name. I'm not sure who this is. I don't know if that's Joker or if that's supposed to be like Joker, which is an obviously callback to Jason Todd's death, I guess. I'm not sure. But that was an interesting little ending hook there. So overall, a great week of reading. And I hope to get some real major reading done this week, because I still feel like I'm not reading as much as I want to be. And for having a YouTube channel, I want to be more on time with what's coming out. Because already, you know, I haven't read anything that came out last week, and we're already at New Comic Book Day this Wednesday. But overall, still a fantastic stack of reads. And again, I look forward to reviewing Infinite Tale Chronicles this Friday. So thank you guys for watching. Subscribe for more comic book reviews. I will share next what I get from my comic shop, including consignments, and got a whole bunch of stuff that came in from Kickstarter. So we'll open up. Drop my mic. We'll open up everything we got from Kickstarter and take a look at what came in the mail. Got a lot of stuff to get through tomorrow. So subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Adios.